Elizabeth Taylor took Michael Jackson to the party.
Okay.
In some kind of way, in the party, it was induced in Michael Jackson OD.
Really? In 1979?
1979.
So you saying did he pass away in 1979?
So I wasn't there.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I heard. It was saying allegedly, Michael Jackson was deceased in 1979. When Las Vegas found out about it, they said they could not have a pop icon die in Las Vegas. They had just lost the R&B king, Elvis Presley, 1977. They said it would be bad business. So I understood they went to the Jackson family and told them what happened, and that you got other sons. If we say this about Michael, and it'll ruin you, you'll be back in Gary, Indiana. Allegedly. All of a sudden in 1979, he's doing a commercial, and a fire happened, and his hair caught on fire.
Was that in 79? That was in the 80s.
79.
In 79, his hair caught on fire?
1979, the Pepsi commercial.
Wow.
So he was in hibernation rehabilitating, so they said that they had lookalikes because they were recreating a Michael Jackson and making a clone. Now, all of a sudden, he overdoses, and it's Conrad Murray's fault. The doctors that gave it to him, they were never charged. No white people was ever charged in this hour. Let your man go over with your life. We're going to give you 4 years. You get out and go on back to Houston, right? So now when the funeral takes place and we start doing this little research on Michael, now it comes up that, I never had sex with Michael, was in vitro fertilization. Now, all of a sudden, the doctor that's supposed to did the in vitro fertilization said it wasn't Michael Jackson's sperm, it was his.
Wow.
Because them kids have no Jackson DNA in them. That's a fact.
None of them.
Now, one of them. That Elizabeth.
Yeah. I'd like to welcome everybody to my podcast. Yo, I am your gracious host, Jupiter 9. And we got some conspiracy theory. This is going to be a conspiracy theory episode, guys. Man, oh man. Another wild story is coming out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who this guy is, but this guy said that Michael Jackson passed away at a party that he went to allegedly with Elizabeth Taylor, and he's no longer. Michael Jackson passed away in 1979 at this party allegedly that he went to with Elizabeth Taylor, I guess. Now let's talk about Michael Jackson for a minute, man. Everybody know who Michael Jackson is, man. He's like one of the biggest and greatest entertainers of not just my generation, but every generation. Like, everybody knows who Michael Jackson is, man. And I'm just gonna give you my perspective on Michael Jackson, his career, what he did for me growing up. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was a young kid, you know, when Michael started to pop. You know what I'm saying? Michael, you know, he came out with Off the Wall. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit before my time. I was born in 1977, so I'm a late 70s baby. I really call myself an 80s baby, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, you know what I mean? So I really call myself an 80s baby, but I was born in 1977, you know what I'm saying? December, Sagittarius. Shout out to all my Sagittarius out there, man. You know what I'm saying? So I remember being a kid, and the first time I was at all with an entertainer when I was younger, you know what I mean? When Michael did, you know, people don't entertain like they used to, man. People were really gifted back in the day. They were really students of their craft. They really paid homage to the people before them. You know what I'm saying? And Michael Jackson was one of those guys. You know what I mean? He was just electrifying as a dancer. You know, I grew up in, you know, hip hop. The 80s, breakdancing, you know, that was my thing back in the day. Pop locking and you know, doing my thing, breakdancing. So I was a dancer, break dancer, man. So, I was a very big fan of, not just Michael Jackson, but I'm a fan of dancers, period. Chris Brown, Mike, Usher, and who else was a really good dancer, man? Genuine is a very underrated dancer in his prime, man. I think so. You know what I mean? And Bobby Brown, another great dancer, you know what I mean? And, I've seen a lot of great dancers in my lifetime, Gregory Hines, you know what I'm saying? The tap dancer. Who else, man? Who else is an amazing dancer, man? Let's see. You got Crazy Legs, you know what I'm saying? He's a really good dancer, one of the top tier break dancers, man. But, getting back to Mike, the thing that got me with Mike was, when he did everybody knows the electrifying moment that when Michael did the moonwalk at the music awards, the American Music Awards, man, when he did that moonwalk, it was just like, oh my God, that was mind blowing. I remember being a kid and sitting on the edge of the bed, my mom's bed, you know what I'm saying? Watching the American Music Awards, I think it was, and just being totally blown away about, Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. Now, we all know Michael did not create the moonwalk, you know what I'm saying? But he made it popular, you know what I mean? So I followed Mike throughout his career. As time went on with Mike, things got weirder and weirder. Right after the Pepsi Pepsi Cola commercial incident, things started to get a lot of weird things went on in his career. His face started to change, his skin tone started to change, and the off-the-wall Michael Jackson looked like nothing like the Michael Jackson that we all know today that passed away. What I think it's been like 10 years now or something like that. I'm really not sure when he passed away. He looked like a completely different person. Now, everybody could say, "Oh, he's just saying a lot of BS." It's another conspiracy theory type thing. But if you look back on Mike's career and all the weird things that went on, and all the weird things that happened in his career, like his nose falling off at a concert, you know what I'm saying? A lot of weird things that don't happen to normal people. Now, people know that there's been a lot of conspiracies going on with cloning. There's like allegedly rumors that, Kevin Hart is a clone. Like, I think the cloning thing gets a little bit out of hand at times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now the internet calls everybody a clone. But this particular situation, you might want to second guess and think about this one. There's a good possibility that this could possibly be facts. Not saying it could be, but it could be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all know that Michael was odd. He was different. And over time, Michael looked like a totally different person. Now, what this guy is claiming is that Michael Jackson passed away in 1979. And, his family, Michael Jackson family, the Jacksons, they're born and raised in Gary, Indiana, and they're Jehovah's Witness. And like he said, they don't believe in burials and all that good stuff. And, I definitely, and this is just my opinion and what I believe, that certain influential figures, if something happens to them, whether it be an early passing or something happens to them tragically, if they have the attention of the people by the masses, and they create a certain amount of revenue for certain corporations. I truly believe that some of these people out here are cloned. Like, I truly believe certain people. Now, is everybody cloned? No, I don't believe in that. Now, we can go back to, if you are the age of 35 and older, they've been cloning, sheep and stuff like that since the 1950s, I believe, like in the mid 1950s. So they've been doing this cloning thing for a very long time. And it makes you wonder, like President Joe Biden and the things that happens with him, falling on stage and him looking pretty much half dead and don't even look alive. It makes you wonder, like, is Joe Biden a clone too as well? You know what I'm saying? Because some of these people do not look real. And, with technology, anything is possible. As technology grows and gets better, faster, and more info is passed around, these type of stories you're going to see more and more of these type of stories. Now, it's up to you to take your own judgment, whether if it's true or not. But my thing is this too as well. What does this person have to gain for lying? You know what I'm saying? What does he gain from this? From making up something like this? You dig what I'm saying? Me personally, he has nothing to gain from making these type of allegations. And we all know that Mike was going through some court issues, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mike, they were trying to throw Mike in jail, man. Like, you know what I mean? So, did Michael Jackson tragically pass away allegedly in 1979? It's you know what, guys? It's really hard to say what's real, what's not real anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's been stories like this, you got, Elvis allegedly didn't pass away when he passed away. And then you got the hip hop Elvis, which is Tupac Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly he did not pass away in those times. We are truly living in a make-believe world. Like, everything that you see on TV it's all make-believe. You know what I mean? It's all make-believe. You can't really trust what your eyes see today. You know what I'm saying? With technology, and now you got this AI technology, you know what I'm saying, taking over things. They have, a whole McDonald's restaurant where there's no workers in it at all. It's all ran by computers. You know what I'm saying? It's truly turning into, the world is truly turning into, remember the movie Terminator? And like I said, like, this is for the older generation. Remember the movie Terminator? Like, this is really starting to turn into like some cyborg Terminator type stuff. You know what I'm saying? You really don't know what's real, what's not real, who's cloned, who's not cloned. Like, this is a crazy, 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 crazy story. And this is the first time I ever heard this. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time. And me personally, it could be possible, man, because now looking back on, like I said, Michael's career, the weird things that went on. Now, his dates don't match up, but again, they don't have to match up, because Michael Jackson could have did that Pepsi commercial in 79, and then they didn't air it until 1984, because I remember when the Pepsi commercial, they were going to air the Pepsi commercial. That was in 1984 when he had the accident, because I remember reading in, I think it was Ebony or Jet magazine, Michael Jackson was injured in a commercial. One of those magazines from back in the day. I remember reading as a kid that Michael was injured. I was a big Michael Jackson fan. Who wasn't a big Michael Jackson fan back in the day? I had the penny loafers. I had the Thriller jacket with all the zippers. You know what I'm saying? My mom's Know what I mean, for my birthday, she bought me the Beat It jacket with all the zippers, the red Beat It jacket. Man, I was a Michael Jackson fanatic. Like, I had Michael Jackson dolls. I wish I had all this stuff now, man. I would be sitting on a nice chunk of change right now if I still had all that Michael Jackson memorabilia. I remember I had the Michael Jackson microphone, and you can the microphone's pretty dope. You can sing or rap into the microphone, and it will play on your regular home radio. It was pretty dope. I had the dolls. Like, I wish I had all this memorabilia, man. I wish I did, man. But this is what I want to ask you guys, and leave your comments on this. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to leave their comments. Know what I'm saying about this story. This story, I could not do any extra research on it because there's nothing on the internet about this. Like, so this is the only thing that I could find on this story. Like, this is a wild story. Like, you know what I'm saying? This guy is claiming that Michael was cloned, and the real Michael, the Michael that passed away allegedly 10 years ago, that wasn't the real Michael. You know what I'm saying? And Michael passed away allegedly in 1979 at a party. So this is what I want you guys to do, man. Like, tell me what you think about this story. You know what I'm saying? Do you think Michael Jackson was cloned? You know what I'm saying? Do you think he was cloned? Or you think this story is just some another conspiracy theory, you know what I'm saying, BS, you know what I mean, a wild story that he's just saying this to get some shine or he's trolling, you know. That's the word of today. Like, that's the word of, you know, the internet word. Like, when, you know, somebody is saying some conspiracy theory stuff. Like, the person, do you think he's trolling? You know what I mean? Me personally, it's a big possibility, man. It's a big possibility that the stuff he's saying could be has some merit to it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, the Michael from Off the Wall and the Michael that passed away, those are totally two different people to me. And, you know, Michael, when he was alive, he said it was vitiligo, a skin condition. I've seen people with that condition. Not only that, I had an aunt with that condition, and it didn't completely change the way her facial structure was. You know what I'm saying? Even though her skin was lighter in most all over her body, like 80% of her body, it didn't change completely how she looked. And if you look at Michael Jackson from Off the Wall to the Michael Jackson who passed away, that's two different people. You know what I'm saying? It makes you wonder, man. It makes you wonder, was that even the real Michael Jackson? Or did they clone the Michael Jackson allegedly that passed away and created another Michael Jackson that didn't even truly exist? And this whole time, you know what I'm saying, all the music and albums that he made after the incident with the Pepsi commercial, we weren't even watching the real Michael Jackson. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this world is getting wild, man. Like, you know, and a lot of stuff Orlando Brown says, even though it sounds off the wall, but some of it be coming true. And, you know, it's just wild, man. It's just wild. Like, all this crazy stuff that's going on. But what do you guys think, man? Leave your comments below and tell me what you think about this story. You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's BS or do you think it's legit, guys? So, yo, that's my take in this podcast episode. Please subscribe to my channel and please share this with everybody. So that's my take. I'm your gracious host, Jupiter 9, and I just want to say peace and love to everybody. Take care. One.